Well, when these families handed over their life savings for new granny flats, they had no idea the builder was about to go bust. Lee Jansen has been ignoring their calls since, so we tracked him down.
I said, "Are you going to build my granny flat?" "Sure, 100%. I said, "Is you 100%, 100%? Yeah, 110%.
We just want to ask you some questions about Avalon Granny Flats.
Yeah, sorry, no comment.
What's happened with it?
I always thought I would never get caught by someone like this.
This whole process of working with Avalon Granny Flats has been absolutely soul-destroying.
They were promised a place to call home.
Basically, the granny flat was supposed to be from here all the way down to the fence.
They handed over tens of thousands of dollars for a granny flat like this one, but now the business has gone bust and their hard-earned money is lost, with the owner refusing to answer questions.
Where's all the money gone though?
I'm really sorry, no comment.
There's nothing in the trust accounts for the business.
He was cool, calm and collected, very confident. You would believe that he was very professional.
Majoy and Donald DeWald signed up with Avalon Granny Flats in November last year to build a flat at the back of their home. They were told by company director Lee Jansen it would be a 12-week build to start just after Christmas.
He really stressed he needed the first and the second payment because he needed to order the material all before Christmas.
Majoy paid $15,000, then a further $41,000. She says Lee then asked for a further $8,000 before work had begun. She refused.
He then calls me the next day, "Majoy, can you please not even give me half the 8,000? Oh my goodness, I said, "Lee, jump. You're not getting anything."
That's when Majoy became suspicious. She asked for the materials to be delivered, but they never arrived.
I checked with some of the suppliers. Nothing was ordered for my address ever.
What about the people that gave you tens of thousands of dollars?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you have anything to say to them?
No comment.
You know, Majoy gave you $58,000. Dennis and Janet, $114,000. Marty in Sydney, $60,000.
He didn't even have permits to build, and he hadn't ordered a single thing.
Dennis and Janet Lovell were getting Avalon Granny Flats to build a 2-bedroom unit in the Sunshine Coast hinterland for them to retire in. All they have now is a big hole in the ground.
Oh, God, you can't describe it. I mean, it's just the biggest rip-off. I still can't believe that we fell for it.
They too claim they were pressured into making big payments up front for materials that never showed up.
Dennis had a very serious accident and was in hospital for 4 weeks, and that's when he really put the pressure on.
All up, they paid Avalon a whopping $114,500.
This is all just a waste of money and a waste of time and something we're going to have to repair.
Avalon Granny Flats was put into administration by its director Lee Jansen on the 14th of February. The business started 5 years ago. Before that, Lee was the general manager of Daisu Designer Homes.
Lee Jansen here, General Manager at Daysud Designer Homes.
That business also ended in administration.
Well, when somebody goes into liquidation, we automatically cancel their licence, and now we're looking at excluding Mr Jensen from the building and construction sector.
A Current Affair has uncovered dozens of victims of his failed venture in both Queensland and New South Wales. In Sydney, Marty Malechko is now $65,000 out of pocket for her dream home. She found out Avalon Granny Flats was in liquidation by a Facebook post.
We're taking so much off retirees and single mothers, and these are people that have worked hard for this cash, to provide a future for themselves.
Customers are now in the dark. Lee Jansen has since disconnected his phones and cleared out the office. We tracked him down to a Bunnings car park. Ironically, the hardware chain is a listed creditor.
Where's their money gone?
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
What's happened with it?
I'm really sorry, no comment.
These were pensioners, retirees, single mothers. This is all their money. Where's it gone? Do you have anything to say to them? Lee Jansen is now trying to sell off one of the homes he owns. The victims of Avalon Granny Flats fear that could hurt any chance they have of seeing their money again. They want the sale paused until a full investigation is done. You're selling off one of your homes at the moment. Is that to pay some of the creditors?
No comment, I'm sorry.
Are you at Bunnings to pay your bill to them?
Bunnings is owed $35,000. All up, Avalon Granny Flats owes more than $1.7 million to businesses and customers right around Australia. In an interim report from the liquidators, it shows the company at time of collapse shockingly had $0 in the bank, despite taking payments from customers in the days and weeks prior to its demise. Amber Davis considers herself one of the lucky ones. She had her granny flat built, but the 12-week build took 14 months.
Heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. I'm just so upset that I put my trust in them.
She's still yet to get an occupancy certificate for her home and claims she was ripped off.
I told Lee my budget was $180,000. My quote came in without any breakdown of what the costs were at $179,601.46.
Amber is now protesting over the sale of Lee Jansen's home. She held this sign up outside the open house in support of other victims last weekend.
Are you hopeful that the money from the sale of this house will go to some of the creditors?
I'm hopeful, but I don't believe that it will.
The Queensland Building and Construction Commission is investigating, but because Lee contracted builders for the flats and was only listed as a building designer, there's little protection for consumers. Commissioner Brett Bassett.
I absolutely think that if somebody getting something built or renovated is getting asked for payments before the work's done, that should absolutely be a red flag.
Do you have anything to say to these people? They're devastated. They've lost everything. Lee, anything to these people?
You can run, but you can't hide, and your sins will follow you.
The liquidator is investigating the company's affairs and will send a report to creditors in May. It's too early to know if anyone will see a cent.